Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
From makeshift studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia, this is the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I am your host, Joey Harris. Follow the show on Twitter at Cup of Joe Pod. Email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. And folks, I have finally reached 45. We've been preparing for it for a year now, doing our countdown, Project 45. Finally reached the milestone, but as I talked about last week, and in previous episodes, we will continue Project 45 until we are done. But I finally reached the age and had a fantastic birthday, very low-key birthday. And for the first time in 7 years, I didn't have to work on my birthday. So thankful for that. But I had a wonderful birthday, a lot of Facebook messages, Twitter messages, Instagram, texts, phone calls, FaceTimes, cards. Just so thankful and so blessed to be remembered by so many. Today, Project 45 lands in the year 2003 as we look at the September 18th, 2003 episode of WWE Smackdown. In 2003, I had started teaching and found out rather quickly that it was not for me. I taught 8th grade English language arts, and that was a year, all right, and one I'd rather not go through again, but you live and you learn, right? WWE Smackdown was shown on UPN on September the 18th, 2003. It was recorded September the 16th, 2003 from the RBC Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. We start out with our WWE intro. Vince McMahon is shown on video. He says whether you're an avid WWE fan or not, tonight for the first time ever on broadcast television, you'll witness two world-class athletes attempt to raise the bar on their predecessors and challenge those who dare to follow. Tonight, SmackDown presents the 1-hour Iron Man matchup. Tonight, you'll see the first Olympic gold medalist in WWE history, Kurt Angle, the champion, challenged by Brock Lesnar. McMahon then looks to his right, and The Undertaker enters the room. He says he just thought he would take his time to reassure McMahon that he's not out here to interfere in the Iron Man match. He's got too much respect for the championship for that. But he has no respect for Vince McMahon. He knows it was McMahon who sent Brock Lesnar after Undertaker in his title match against Kurt Angle. He says, "And you know me well enough, Vince. I don't forgive, and I sure don't forget." Undertaker then leaves. We then get our SmackDown intro. The pyro goes off, and Michael Cole and Taz welcome us to SmackDown and hype the Iron Man match coming up. Our first contest, Rey Mysterio and Chris Benoit versus Rhino and Tajiri. Tajiri and Benoit start. They lock up, and Benoit with a side headlock. Tajiri pushes off. Benoit comes back with a shoulder block. They avoid shots from each other until Benoit hits Tajiri with a chop. He chops Tajiri down. Tajiri by the ropes and trying to get up. Benoit with a chop and a corner whip. Tajiri jumps up on the charge and gets Benoit in the tarantula. Mysterio distracting referee Jimmy Corderas. Benoit finally gets out. Rhino hits a spine buster on Benoit for a 2 count. Rhino up and kicking Benoit over and over. Rhino with a corner whip and a shoulder tackle to Benoit. He gets another 2 count. Mysterio trying to get the crowd into the match. Benoit coming back with a series of chops to Rhino. Rhino reverses a corner whip, and Benoit hits the corner chest first. Rhino goes for a belly-to-back suplex, but Benoit shifts in midair and gets a 2 count. Benoit ducks a clothesline attempt. Benoit hits a back suplex. Mysterio tagged in. He hits a springboard on Rhino. Rhino with a corner whip. Mysterio hits a back elbow on Rhino. Mysterio hits a moonsault on Rhino. Mysterio comes over and hits Tajiri with the right hand, only to get kicked in the stomach by Rhino when he turns around. Rhino with an Irish whip, and Mysterio comes back and gets a flying front face lock on Rhino to drive him down to the mat. Tajiri breaks up the pin attempt, and now all 4 men in the ring. Benoit gets Tajiri down and kicks him over and over as Corderas tries to get Benoit out of the ring. Rhino gets Mysterio up for a powerbomb, but Mysterio rolls through and Tajiri comes in to blow the mist on Mysterio while Rhino holds Mysterio. Mysterio ducks and Tajiri hits Rhino instead. Tajiri goes to hit Mysterio, but gets cut off by Benoit, who hits a series of German suplexes on Tajiri. Tajiri tries to get away and gets by the ropes, only to get hit with the 619 and another German suplex. Tajiri rolls out of the ring and Mysterio hits Rhino with the 619 and the West Coast Pop to get the pin. Tajiri comes out after Mysterio, who rolls out of the ring to avoid Tajiri. They show The Rock on the cover of GQ magazine. A 2-on-1 women's match. Tori Wilson and Nydia with Dawn Marie versus Shaniqua with the Basham brothers. Nydia and Wilson attack Shaniqua as soon as she gets into the ring. They get Shaniqua down rather quickly, so she rolls to the outside. Wilson and Nydia then hit Shaniqua with a double baseball slide. They then go to the outside and attack Shaniqua. They roll her back in and Nydia keeps kicking Shaniqua. Shaniqua back up. Nydia rushes her, but Shaniqua hits a power slam on Nydia. She gets a 2 count. She gets up and Wilson hits her with a jawbreaker and Nydia rolls Shaniqua up and gets a 2 count. Shaniqua comes back with a double clothesline. Shaniqua then scoop slams Wilson on Nydia. Shaniqua then throws Wilson to the outside. Shaniqua then hits a powerbomb on Nydia and pins her. After the match, Shaniqua attacks Dawn Marie, who had come in to check on Nydia. She then throws Dawn Marie to the outside. Shaniqua then picks Dawn Marie up and runs her headfirst into a ring post. Stephanie McMahon is shown in the back, talking about the Iron Man match on the phone, while drawing a beard on a Sable poster with a marker. She gets interrupted by Vince McMahon, The Big Show, and Sable. Vince says, "I didn't bother knocking," and Stephanie says, "You never do, Dad." And he says, "Because I don't have to now, do I?" He then says he was surprised at her decision-making last week. Rather than quit, she actually chose to get in the ring with Brock Lesnar. You know, with some tiny changes to this dialogue, I bet this exact conversation went on at WWE Towers last week. Stephanie says it might not have been the smartest thing to do, but Vince can't make her quit. Big Show grabs Stephanie's arm and Vince McMahon says, "Easy, Show, easy." Vince says he's got it. He will handle this. Man, I bet this really did go on at Titan Towers last week. He then says he's going to make Stephanie quit. That's the one thing he will do. As a matter of fact, he says that Stephanie wanted to play rough and kick him in the groin last week. Stephanie interrupts him and says, "Dad, why don't you just fire me and get it over with?" Vince says because he does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. Insert your own jokes here, folks. He says he doesn't want to fire Stephanie. He wants her to quit of her own volition. She says, "Well, I'm not going to." He says, "Oh, yes, you are. You played rough last week and kicked him in the groin." He's now going to start playing rough. And when he starts playing rough, one day she's going to wish, in fact, she might even beg him to quit. A preview of the tag team title match coming up. They show highlights of the previous 2 meetings between Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. Los Guerreros are shown in the back. Eddie is the current United States champion. He asks Chavo how he pulled it off. Chavo says he went to Stephanie and he talked to her about Los Guerreros being back together, and Eddie says that's familia. She agreed and gave them the title shot tonight. Their matchup is next, and Eddie tells Chavo that he is proud of him. Thinking of La Familia like that, and Chavo says he's not only thinking of La Familia, he's thinking about Eddie. Eddie says, "Why him?" And Chavo says, "Because after tonight, Eddie is not going to only be the United States champion, he's also going to be one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions with Chavo." Eddie says he could use some more gold. He thinks he would look good. Chavo says no, he would look great. So let's stop talking about it and go out there and kick some butt and bring home that WWE Tag title to Grandma. Eddie says, "For La Raza and for Mi Familia." WWE Tag Team Championship match. Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin versus Los Guerreros, Eddie and Chavo. An earlier today graphic is shown as John Cena says he underestimated the Guerreros. He then does a rap about the Guerreros and the U.S. title. Los Guerreros come to the ring in a lowrider. Haas and Benjamin already in the ring. The bell rings. Benjamin and Eddie start, and the crowd is solidly behind Los Guerreros. They circle each other and lock up. Eddie with a go-behind waist lock. A series of reversal, and Eddie finally gets an armbar on and tags Chavo in. He hits Benjamin with some kicks and European uppercuts. He then runs Benjamin into the corner, and Eddie tagged back in. Double Irish whip and back elbow to Benjamin. Eddie with a front face lock, and Benjamin drives Eddie to a corner. Haas tagged in, and he chokes Eddie with the tag rope for a 3 count before getting in. Haas with a corner whip. Haas kicks Eddie in the midsection and tags Benjamin back in. Back and forth in the corner. Eddie hits Benjamin with punches and hits Haas with the back elbow. Then another right hand to Benjamin, and another back elbow to Haas. Eddie with big suplex to Benjamin and tags Chavo in. Chavo runs Benjamin into a corner and attacks him with a series of punches and kicks. Haas comes in and Chavo hits him with a shot. Benjamin reverses an Irish whip, and Chavo comes back with a monkey flip to Benjamin and a drop kick to Haas when he comes in. Chavo comes back with a tilt-a-whirl spinning head scissors to Benjamin, and the crowd really liked that move. Eddie tagged in, and Los Guerreros each with a crossbody onto Haas and Benjamin on the outside. When they come back from commercial break, Kyoto is trying to get Benjamin out of the ring. Eddie tagged in as the crowd starts an Eddie chant. Eddie hits Haas with a thumb to the eye. He then hits Haas with a chop and an Irish whip and a back elbow. Eddie with a front face lock and Chavo tagged in. Chavo drops a knee on Haas. Eddie with a snapmare to Haas, and then Chavo hits Haas with a baseball slide. Chavo with a cover, but Benjamin in to break up the pin attempt. Haas back up and hitting Chavo with knees and forearms. Haas with a front face lock and Benjamin tagged in. Benjamin continues with right hands and forearms to Chavo. Chavo fights out of a corner with right hands and kicks. Chavo then throws Benjamin into Los Guerreros' corner. Chavo hits Benjamin with several shots and an uppercut. Eddie tagged in and goes for a belly-to-back suplex, but Benjamin shifts in the air to hit Eddie with a forearm and lands on Eddie for a 2 count, but Chavo breaks up the pin attempt. Benjamin goes for a powerbomb attempt, but when he gets Eddie up, Eddie rolls through and gets a 2 count on Benjamin. Double clothesline and both men down. Chavo and Haas both tagged in. Chavo with a shot and a corner whip. Haas gets his boot up on the charge. Eddie tries to grab at Haas, but gets cut off by Kyoto, allowing Benjamin to sneak in and hit Chavo with a super kick. Haas with a shot to Chavo's shoulder, and that's what Haas and Benjamin seem to be concentrating on. Haas runs Chavo headfirst into a corner post. Haas then wraps Chavo's arm around the ropes, but breaks before the 5 count. Kyoto gets on Haas, allowing Benjamin to grab the arm and yank straight down on it. Haas and Benjamin are cheating to perfection. Haas with a Northern Lights suplex for a 2 count. Benjamin tagged in. Benjamin with an armbar to the injured arm, and this is a smart plan by Haas and Benjamin to target the injured arm of Chavo. The crowd starts the Chavo chant. Haas tagged back in. He kicks Chavo down in the corner. Haas with an underarm spin to drive Chavo down to the mat and drops some knees on the arm. Chavo fighting back with some right hands and a flying forearm. Chavo tries to go for a tag, but Haas grabs his ankle, and Benjamin comes in and hits Chavo with a forearm to the back of the head to knock Chavo down. Chavo gets the tag, but Mike Chioda didn't see it and won't allow it. Haas and Benjamin go to double team Chavo. Double Irish whip, and Benjamin backdrops Chavo to Haas, and Chavo takes advantage and hits Haas with a drop kick. Chavo charges Benjamin, who backs up, but Chavo reaches out and tags Eddie in. Eddie comes in and cleans house and clotheslines both Haas and Benjamin. He gets an Irish whip and a backdrop on Haas. 3 Amigos suplexes to Benjamin. Haas with a forearm to Eddie's back halfway through to cut it off. Haas hits a German suplex on Eddie for a 2 count. Haas goes for an inverted atomic drop. Eddie with a forearm to Haas to counter. Benjamin comes in with a super kick, but accidentally hits Haas in the head. Eddie grabs Benjamin's arm, goes up top, and hits an arm drag head scissors combo to flip both Haas and Benjamin over. The crowd loved that move. The Eddie chant goes out again. Eddie goes up top. Benjamin comes up, and they exchange right-hand shots with Eddie on the top rope still. Eddie finally pushes Benjamin off. Eddie starts to go for the frog splash, sees that Haas is starting to get up, so Eddie just rolls through as Haas rushes him into the corner. Eddie backdrops Haas out of the ring. Haas grabs a couple of chairs from ringside and goes around to try to get in the ring. Kyoto and Eddie are both distracted as Benjamin grabs the other chair and sneaks into the ring. Eddie avoids one chair shot. Benjamin kicks Eddie down. Chavo comes out of nowhere and clips Benjamin in the knee and throws the chair out of the ring. Benjamin rolls out of the ring, and Haas comes over and checks on Benjamin. Haas gets back in the ring, and Los Guerreros double Irish whip him and hit the flapjack, and Haas just bends in half like a pretzel. Chavo with a suplex to Haas, and Eddie goes up top and hits the 5-star frog splash on Haas and pins him. New tag team champions. Los Guerreros then celebrate in the ring. WWE Smack of the Night of Brock Lesnar attacking Stephanie McMahon the previous week. Taz and Michael Cole talk about what is happening between Stephanie and Vince McMahon and then preview the Iron Man match. Superstars are shown gathered in the back around the TV monitor and talking about the match. Main event, 60-minute Iron Man match for the WWE Championship. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. This is the rubber match between the two, as Lesnar won at WrestleMania and Angle won at SummerSlam. Both look intense. Lesnar on the apron before the match starts and the crowd chants, "You tapped out" at him. Lesnar gets in the ring. He attacks Angle with a cheap shot right before the bell rings and stomps Angle down in the corner. He breaks on the 4 count. He then presses his boot on Angle's neck for a 4 count, as Cole says Lesnar is obsessed with winning the WWE Championship. Angle gets back to his feet, but Lesnar's still kicking him in the corner. Lesnar with a corner whip and drives his shoulder into Angle's midsection. He then puts his boot back in Angle's neck for another 4 count. Angle struggles, but gets back to his feet, and Lesnar runs his shoulder into the midsection again. Lesnar then beats Angle out of the corner and halfway across the ring. Lesnar with the right hand, but Angle fighting out of the corner with right hands of his own. Lesnar with a knee to the chest. Lesnar with a corner whip, but Angle hits a back elbow on the charge. Angle follows it up with a clothesline. Another clothesline, and Lesnar still won't go down. Angle charges Lesnar and ducks the clothesline attempt. Angle with a short drop kick to the back of Lesnar's knee to stagger him. Angle follows that up with a clothesline to knock Lesnar down. Angle with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex as momentum has swung his way. Lesnar rolls to the outside to regroup. Fans taunting Lesnar with the "You tapped out" chant. The referee is counting Lesnar, who gets back in on the 7 count. They circle each other. Lesnar stops and it appears that his leg is bothering him. He asks for a timeout. He backs off and the crowd starts to boo him. Angle comes in and Lesnar catches him with a kick. He then hits a forearm and another kick to drive Angle to his knees. Lesnar starts to kick Angle down in the corner. He then hits a big forearm to the back of Angle, and Angle reverses an Irish whip and hits an arm drag to Lesnar. A series of arm drags and Lesnar goes out to the floor again. Lesnar is visibly pissed, and he grabs the ring steps and starts to look like he is going to bring them in, then throws him away and briefly slides in to break the count at 9. He starts to get up on the apron, and Angle rushes him, so he backs off, and referee Brian Hebner is frustrated that his count keeps getting broken. Lesnar screams at Hebner to keep Angle back so that he can get in, and Angle screams, "Come on." Angle staying back, and Lesnar slowly getting up on the apron. The crowd is booing Lesnar. Angle rushes Lesnar again, so he drops back down, and they are really stalling in this match. Larry Zbyszko would be proud. Angle finally goes to a corner, and Lesnar gets back in the ring. They circle each other again. They are wary of each other, and Angle goes for a single leg takedown. Lesnar gets out of the ring to avoid it and complains to Hebner about Angle. Lesnar visibly angry as Angle pacing in the ring waiting for him. Lesnar gets up on the apron, and Angle comes over to grab him, allowing Lesnar to guillotine Angle on the top rope. Lesnar gets Angle down with kicks and forearms. He then steps on Angle's throat for a 4 count. Lesnar with a shot to Angle goes for an Irish whip. Angle holds on and hits Lesnar with the belly-to-belly suplex. Angle then clotheslines Lesnar back to the outside. Lesnar grabs his injured knee on the outside. Angle goes out stalking Lesnar and knocks him back to the ground. Angle with forearms to keep knocking Lesnar back to the ground. Angle then picks Lesnar up and runs him headfirst into the ring steps. Angle goes in briefly to break the count. He comes back out and attacks Lesnar with forearms. Lesnar comes back with a knee to the stomach of Angle. Lesnar grabs Angle and drives him backwards to the ring apron. Lesnar then lifts Angle up and drives him into the corner post. A double count going as Lesnar limps towards Angle. Lesnar throws Angle back into the ring. Lesnar grabs a chair and brings it into the ring as the "You tapped out" chants grow louder. Lesnar hits Angle with the chair and gets disqualified. This was my strategy when playing Iron Man matches on Smackdown vs. Raw. You pick up multiple pins while sacrificing only one pin yourself. Rest period. Lesnar attacking Angle with the chair, repeatedly hitting him with it. Hebner grabs the chair and Lesnar laughs. Lesnar goes over to Taz and Cole and asks them if they have any water. Cole hands him a bottle. Lesnar drinks half of it and pours the other half over himself and then gets back in the ring. He goes over and slaps and kicks Angle. Angle trying to get back up, but Lesnar screaming at him to stay down. Lesnar gets Angle up and hits the F5. He then pins Angle and it's tied 1-1. Taz says he understands Lesnar's strategy now. Rest period. Lesnar comes out and kicks Angle. He gets down and screaming at Angle, asking him if he wants to tap out. He then kicks Angle at it every time he attempts to get up and then puts the ankle lock on Angle. Angle quickly taps and Lesnar up 1 fall. When they come back from commercial break, Angle is back up and rushing Lesnar. He ducks a clothesline attempt, but Lesnar catches him with a shot to the stomach when he comes back. They show Lesnar using the Angle slam on Angle to get a 2 count during the break. Lesnar with a corner whip and then drives his shoulder into Angle's midsection. Lesnar then drives his shoulder repeatedly into Angle in the corner. He then headbutts Angle. Angle starts to get up, so Lesnar headbutts him again. Lesnar then kicking Angle down in the corner. Lesnar with another corner whip, but Angle moves on the charge, and Lesnar hits the ring post with his shoulder. Angle attacking Lesnar with some right hands, trying to get him down. Lesnar reverses an Irish whip, misses a clothesline attempt, and Angle comes back with a shot to knock Lesnar down. Angle then grabs Lesnar and hits 3 German suplexes. Lesnar tried to grab the ropes, but Angle kept pulling him off, both men down. Angle comes over to Lesnar, who throws Angle out of the ring in desperation. Lesnar comes out after Angle and Irish whips him into the barricade, a double count going. Lesnar goes in briefly to break up the count. He comes back out, and Angle attacks Lesnar with left and right hands. Lesnar with a knee to the stomach and hits an F5 on Angle on the outside. A holy shit chant goes out. Lesnar gets back in the ring and wins the fall by countout. Lesnar up 3-1. After the commercial break, Angle back in the ring and hitting Lesnar with punches. They show Angle hitting Lesnar with 2 belly-to-belly suplexes during the break. Lesnar reverses an Irish whip and shoulder blocks Angle out of the ring. Angle gets back in the ring and Lesnar kicks him down in the corner. He then drives his boot into Angle's neck for a 4 count. Lesnar pulls Angle into the middle of the ring and drops an elbow on him. He then drops another elbow and gets a close 2 count on Angle. Both back to their feet and Lesnar with a big right hand. Lesnar then kicks Angle in the corner as an Angle chant goes out. Angle stops a corner whip attempt with the kick to the stomach and hits an Angle slam on Lesnar. He gets the pin and it's 3-2 in favor of Lesnar. Rest period. Michael Cole announces if it's tied at the end, they have permission from UPN to go to overtime. Angle back on the attack after the rest period, punching Lesnar while he is down. Angle with a leg drop. He kicks Lesnar and then suplexes him. He gets a 2 count. Lesnar trying to break away, but Angle kicking him repeatedly. Lesnar trying to beg off, but Angle stalking him and will not let Lesnar rest. Angle then with right hands in the corner. Lesnar comes back with a knee to the stomach. Angle ducks a clothesline attempt and hits a German suplex on Lesnar. Angle pulls the straps of the singlet down and goes for the Angle slam. Lesnar counters with a kick to the stomach and goes for the F5. Angle swings around and through and gets the ankle lock on Lesnar. Lesnar kicks off and Angle almost runs into Hebner. He turns around and ducks a Lesnar clothesline that takes Hebner out. Angle then hits an Angle slam and covers, but Hebner was still out. Angle checks on Hebner and then goes back to Lesnar, who hits Angle with a blatant low blow. Lesnar rolls to the outside. He scatters stuff and throws a ring crew member around. He then grabs the WWE Championships and brings it back in and nails Angle with it. Lesnar then throws the WWE Championship out. He picks Hebner up and tosses him to the center of the ring to count the pin. Lesnar up 4-2. Lesnar points to himself as they go to commercial. When they come back, Angle is on the outside holding his ribs. Lesnar comes over to grab Angle, who takes advantage and grabs Lesnar and pulls him to the outside. Angle with a right hand to Lesnar and then runs him into the ring steps. Angle rolls back into the ring. Angle then goes up top and hits Lesnar on the outside with a double axe handle. Angle throws Lesnar back into the ring and gets a close 2 count. Angle then goes up top and hits a missile drop kick to Lesnar. That was impressive. He gets another close 2 count. Angle with a scoop slam. Angle with a top rope moonsault, but Lesnar moves out of the way. Double count going. Lesnar misses a clothesline. Angle rolls him up with a schoolboy and gets another 2 count. Angle up, and Lesnar rocks him with a clothesline. Lesnar with a big overhead belly-to-belly suplex. He gets a close 2 count. A double count going. Both men get back up. Lesnar goes for a belly-to-belly. Angle with a single leg takedown and goes for the ankle lock. He gets it on, but Lesnar is able to spin through, sending Angle crashing to the outside. Hebner counting Angle. Lesnar goes out after Angle and knees him in the stomach. Lesnar drives Angle into the ring steps. Lesnar then throws Angle back in, and he gets another close 2 count. Lesnar goes outside and grabs the ring steps. He tries to bring them into the ring, but Angle baseball slides the steps into Lesnar, knocking him down. Angle goes out and throws Lesnar back in and gets a couple of 2 counts. Angle with a forearm to Lesnar. He gets Lesnar down in the corner and puts his boot into Lesnar's throat in a what's good for the goose moment. He releases just before the 5 count and Irish whips Lesnar. He hits him with the back elbow and gets the 2 count just as they go to commercial. During the break, Lesnar hit a superplex on Angle and pins him to go up 5-2. When they come back to live action, both wrestlers are on the outside and both are hurt. Lesnar with right hands to Angle near the announce desk. He then goes over and gets Angle up to do an F5 into the corner post, but Angle slips behind him and slams Lesnar into the post, and then F5s Lesnar into the post. The crowd loved that. Angle breaks the count and goes back to kick Lesnar in the ribs. Angle throws Lesnar back into the ring. He gets a single leg crab on, and Lesnar trying to make his way to the ropes. He makes it to the ropes, so Angle pulls him away and gets the ankle lock on. Lesnar makes it back to the ropes, but Angle keeps the ankle lock on, and Lesnar tries to kick Angle off of him. Angle breaks the hold and goes back to kicking Lesnar in the ribs. He then kicks the knee. He gets Lesnar up, and Lesnar hits him with an elbow that knocks Angle halfway across the ring. Angle rushes Lesnar, who catches Angle with an F5 out of nowhere. It takes Lesnar a minute to cover, and he only gets a 2 count. Lesnar up first, but he is struggling. Lesnar starts to go up top as he is climbing the ropes slowly. He finally gets up top, but Angle rushes the corner, jumps up, and hits an amazing belly-to-belly suplex on Lesnar. He pins Lesnar, who is now up 5-3. A double count going, both up and going back and forth in the middle of the ring, and both wrestlers are just spent at this point. Angle with a series of right hands to force Lesnar into the corner. He then beats Lesnar down. He does and then backs towards the middle of the ring in pain as the crowd tries to encourage him with the USA chant. Angle with a suplex to Lesnar. Angle gets fired up and starts stalking Lesnar looking for the ankle lock. He goes for the Angle slam, but Lesnar pushes him away and hits a DDT on Angle. He gets a close 2 count. Lesnar up and urging Angle to also get up. He does and hits Lesnar with some big right hands. Lesnar ducks a clothesline attempt and hits a big German suplex to Angle. He then picks Angle up again and hits another German suplex. He gets Angle up and hits yet another German suplex. A double count going and Lesnar grabs Angle. He goes for another German suplex, but Angle blocks it, does a standing switch, and hits Lesnar with a German suplex. He then does it again. Lesnar blocks a third attempt and goes for one of his own, but Angle rolls through the attempt and gets the ankle lock on Lesnar. Lesnar scrambling to reach the rope, but Angle keep him in the center of the ring. Lesnar finally taps and he is up 5-4 with 4 minutes left. After the next rest period, Angle goes right back to the ankle lock. Lesnar rolls through, driving Angle into the second rope where he bounces off. Angle gets Lesnar into an STF. The crowd is screaming, "Make him tap," to Angle. Lesnar elbows Angle repeatedly to get out of the hold. Lesnar rolls out of the ring and Angle follows him with 2 minutes left. Angle gets the ankle lock on Lesnar on the outside where it does him no good. He releases the hold and gets Lesnar back in the ring with 95 seconds left. Lesnar rolls back out of the ring and Angle follows and slams Lesnar's head down on the ring step. Angle throws Lesnar back into the ring. Lesnar attempts the clothesline. Angle ducks and locks in a German suplex. He hits 4 of them, 45 seconds left. Lesnar grabs the referee out of desperation so he can't see Lesnar hit Angle with a low blow from a kick. 30 seconds left. He comes over to Angle, who grabs Lesnar and gets the ankle lock on with 15 seconds left. Lesnar holds on until the time runs out. Lesnar announced the winner and new WWE champion, and the crowd boos. He falls out of the ring with the title. Angle looks dejected, and Lesnar looks back at him in the ring as they sign off from Raleigh. Final thoughts. This was a unique show. You had never seen a match like that on network TV, and it was a nice change of pace. Plus, you had the tag team championship change from Haas and Benjamin to Los Guerreros. It's worth giving it a look. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. I would really appreciate it. You can support the show at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. Thank you for joining me this week. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.